Distinguished scholars, honored guests, dear friends, I was hoping to be with you in person, but due to ongoing challenges and the delicate situation we face, I could only share my thoughts with you via this video message. It is an honor to address this conference at Yale University. I thank the Jackson Institute for Global Affairs and all the organizers of this conference, which focuses on one of the darkest chapters in our history, the genocide against our people. It is essential to remember that the genocide against the people of Kurdistan did not take place just once or in one operation. From the mid-1970s until 1991, 4,500 villages in Kurdistan were razed to the ground as the Ba'athist regime tried to eradicate our way of life and our heritage. Perhaps the most notorious chapter of the Kurdish genocide is referred to as the Anfal, which means the spoils of war. This word from the Holy Quran was misused by Saddam Hussein's regime to name the 8th-stage Anfal genocide operation in 1988. Over a period of about 6 months, 182,000 people were killed. Villages were destroyed, families were torn apart, innocent men, women, and children were rounded up and executed, and chemical weapons were unleashed on Kurdistan. But the tragedy of Anfal was not a solitary act of genocide. The persecution of the fellow Kurds began in 1970 and reached a peak in 1979 when thousands were deprived of their Iraqi nationality and were systematically executed. In July 1983, the Ba'athists turned on the Barzanis, my own family and lineage. In that operation, 8,000 men and boys as young as 12 years old were forcibly disappeared. Decades later, we found the remains of some of them in mass graves in southern Iraq. Many of you have heard of the use of chemical weapons against the city of Halabja in 1988. In this operation, 5,000 people died and thousands more were injured. Genocide was the culmination of a long history of oppression, marginalization, and violence against the people of Kurdistan. The lesson here is that we must all speak out when we see injustice, even if it's inconvenient, because silence is complicity. But despite every effort to break our spirit, the people of Kurdistan have endured. Today, the Kurdistan region stands as a testament to resilience and hope. We have a society that values freedom, coexistence, and dignity, and our region remains a refuge for those fleeing violence and persecution. We are grateful to academic institutions like Yale University for ensuring that the truth of the genocide against the Kurdistani people is preserved, studied, and shared. By holding this conference, you are bearing witness to genocide, an important act, but memory alone is not enough. Justice must come alongside remembrance. While the old regime is gone, the legacy of genocide remains. Iraq became the theater for another genocide when in 2014, ISIS rampaged across the country, killing thousands and especially targeting the Yazidis and Christians. It is right to ask, why is it that Iraq became the land where the crime of genocide has been repeated so many times? Thousands of families still seek the fate of their loved ones from the murders by ISIS and the old Ba'athist regime. Yazidis still seek the women who were abducted and enslaved by ISIS. Mass graves remain unmarked, unexamined, and unacknowledged. The Iraqi federal government is yet to compensate the victims of these genocides. Last week, the Iraqi parliament voted to recognize Halabja as a governorate. This was a significant and necessary step, but it should have been taken a long time ago. The crimes committed by ISIS were formally recognized by the United Nations and the United States as genocide. Yet the global response remains insufficient. Justice must be a priority, not only for Iraq, but for the international community as a whole. Justice and accountability must be pursued with urgency. My final words are to the students and scholars gathered here. Your work matters. You are not just studying and preserving history. You are shaping the conscience of future generations. I thank you for your work. May we honor the memory of the fallen, not only in words, but in deeds. Thank you.